Dear friends, English Literature, Introduction to Drama, Riders to the Sea by John Millington Synge, Short Questions with Answers. Short questions 34 to 44. Question 34. How does the sea in the Riders to the Sea represent fate? Answer. In Riders to the sea figures as a dark, terrible power, a sort of fate that takes a heavy toll of lives, involving Maria's family in utter ruin and desolation. In the play, the sea represents fate which crushes all it meets. It is the fate of the Aran Islanders, and it is the tyrant god that symbolizes death. The islanders are destined by the force of circumstances to fight an unequal war with the sea. They cannot keep away from the sea because it is the source of their livelihood. It gives them fish and kelp for the barrenness of the rocky earth. It also gives them passage to the markets in the mainland. If they avoid the sea, they have to starve. Thus, the sea is an archetypal symbol of fate. It devours those whom it finds in its grip. It devours 8 male members of Maria's family, leaving her destitute. Thus, the sea acts in the play as an agent of cruel fate. Question 35. Where is she who asks this question, who has been referred to as she? Answer. Where is she is the opening sentence of the play Riders to the Sea. Nora, the youngest daughter of Maria, asks her elder sister this question. She here refers to their mother, Maria. Nora enters with a bag given to her by the young priest containing the bundle of Michael's clothes and wants to know from her elder sister where their mother was. Then, because Nora, would like to examine the clothes in her absence. Question 36. What is the dramatic significance of this question? Answer. This question of Nora creates suspense, which is the condition of warning to know that what will happen next, what will be the outcome of the events. Suspense creates tension and intensifies the interest of learning the outcome of the events in readers or spectators. Nora enters with a bundle of clothes given to her by the young priest. The bundle contains a shirt, a plain stocking, which were got off a drowned man in Donegal. She wants to verify if the clothes were Michael's or not. If they were identified as Michael's, so there will be no doubt about Michael's drowning. So Nora asks this question in a low voice, lest her mother should hear her. Michael was missing for 9 days. If Maria becomes certain about Michael's death by means of these clothes, it will intensify her grief and agony. That is why it creates suspense. Question 37. The Almighty God wants to leave her destitute with no son living. Who is the speaker? In what context does the speaker say this? Answer. The young priest is the speaker of these words. Bartley decides to go to the Galloway Fair to sell his 2 horses. Maria does not want him to go as the sea was stormy and he was her only surviving son. Maria requested the young priest, through her daughter Nora, to prevent him from undertaking the risky journey. When Nora asks the priest to prevent Bartley, the priest refuses to prevent him and assures Nora that no harm can possibly come to Bartley when his mother prays so hard to God half the night for the safety of her only surviving son. He believes that her prayers to God cannot prove fruitless. The all-powerful God is kind and merciful and not so cruel as to take away the only surviving son of such a devout woman, and leave her destitute. Question 38. How do these words turn out to be a bitter irony? Answer. The words of the young priest turn out to be bitter irony. It's an instance of tremendous dramatic irony. The audience know, though the characters do not, that Maria is going to lose her only surviving son very soon. At the end of the play, we come to know that when Bertley rides the red mare with grey pony running behind him in the sea, the grey pony knocks him over into the sea, and he is carried by the waves to the white rocks and dashed against them. Thus the words of the young priest go wrong. His assurance to the family of Maria is twisted ironically when the news of Bertley's drowning comes. The prayers and consolation of Christianity are of no avail in the gloomy world of the Aran Islands. The people of the island do not find consolation from prayer. Maria prays for her soul half the night, but her prayer proves fruitless. So these words provide an instance of tragic irony. Question 39. When is the action of Riders to the Sea introduced? Answer. The young priest has given the clothes of a drowned man to Nora. Nora and her elder sister Kathleen want to examine the clothes if they belong to Michael. They want to do it in absence of their mother because they do not want to add to their mother's pain. When the restless Maria is able to come to them, Kathleen climbs the ladder to hide the clothes in the turf loft. Maria comes and, thinking that Kathleen is getting down extra fuel, she asks Kathleen why Kathleen, needed extra fuel when there was enough for the day. Kathleen tells a lie. She even throws down some fuel in order to deceive her mother. She tells her mother that she needed extra fuel for baking bread for Bertley, who will go to Connemara to join the horse fair. Thus, we are brought to the main incident of the play. Bertley is going to sea to go to the Galway fair. Building up the atmosphere so long, Synge now introduces the action of the play. Question 40. What is Maria's reaction to it? What is the dramatic significance of her reaction? Answer. Maria does not want Bertley to go to Connemara to join the horse fair by boat. She knows the sea far better. She fears that the boat journey to the mainland shall be very dangerous, as the wind blowing hard from the south and west and west will ruffle the sea. She hopes that if Bertley turns down her request, the young priest will surely prevent him from crossing the sea by boat to the mainland. She has already requested the young priest through her daughter Nora to prevent Bertley from sailing to Connemara on the storm-tossed sea. Here, Maria's expectation is dramatically significant because she here wants a reversal, just the opposite of what is expected. Here, reversal does not occur but is expected by Maria. Question 41. When does Maria first foresee Bertley's death? Answer. Bertley wants to go to Connemara by boat to join the horse fair to sell his 2 horses. He wants to earn money by selling horses for the survival of the family. His mother wants him to stop the journey because he is the only surviving male member of the family. She tries her best to prevent him from taking the risk. Bertley is unyielding. ignoring all the entreaties of his mother when he prepares for the journey and gives instructions to his sister what they will do in his absence. Moria first foresees Bertley's death. She says that they will surely be put into great hardship when Bertley too will be drowned like the other male members of the family. If he is drowned in the sea, it will be very difficult for her to make a living, especially when she has one foot in the grave. Question 42. How does it contribute to the tragic atmosphere of the play? Answer. It contributes a lot to the tragic atmosphere of the play, Riders to the Sea. Here, Maria thinks of her future hardships. Bertley does not think what will happen if there is none to earn bread for the family if he is drowned with the rest. She tries her utmost to rouse consciousness of Bertley about the future of the family on his death. But she fails in her attempts. Maria has the premonition that if Bertley goes to the gallows fair, he will not return home alive. She tries to prevent him from taking the risk of his life because it may mean disaster to the family. Thus, it creates tragic atmosphere of the play, providing an example of tragic irony. She unconsciously predicts the future, and her prediction will come true. Question 43. Is the life of a young man to be going on the sea? Who is the speaker? What kind of man is the speaker? Kathleen is the speaker. She says this to her mother, Moria, who is continuously trying to hold Bertley back from the sea. Bertley is the only earning member of the family, and so he must earn money by selling the horses to save the family from starvation. Kathleen says that a young man cannot sit idle at home. He must work and earn money for the family. He cannot do without the sea because it is the source of his livelihood. He must sail across the sea to go to the mainland for the purpose of buying and selling goods and catching fish. An islander is destined to venture into the sea. He cannot afford to keep aloof from the sea out of respect for the sentiments of old mother, who goes on talking endlessly about her fears and anxieties. A young man like Bertley cannot stay at home if he wants to earn money for his family. Thus, Kathleen is a practical matter-of-fact girl. Question 44. What dramatic purpose does the speaker serve here? Answer. Kathleen here serves as the chorus of the play, commenting on the behavior of the sea, the relationship of man and woman of the Aran Islands to the sea. She knows that the sea is the dominating presence in their life, and they cannot avoid the sea because seafaring is the main occupation of the men folk of the region. She says that life in the regions in which they live are bound up with the sea. A young man who has to earn his living cannot help going to the sea. She knows that though the diverse young man of the Aran Islands, it is the principal source of their living. They must go to the sea to earn their livelihood. A young man's life is to take a risk to discharge his obligations in the sea. Thus, commenting on the responsibility of a young man to venture into the sea, Kathleen serves as the chorus of the play. Thank you, friends, for watching my video.